Hello and welcome back to
Bunso Bites.
I'm your host Ami43.
And I'm your co-host Chigi.
How are you today, Chigi?
I'm doing pretty good.
Again, I feel like it's been a little bit since we recorded. Life was lifing again. So, have any fun updates going on with you?
Oh, of course. I mean, this
weekly update.
This ties in with our episode for today.
Yeah.
But as you can see, we have a new stuffy, which is in my lap.
Our new friend.
And I won't talk about it now because it's part of the episode, so I'll talk about it later.
Yes, we do have a new friend that we're adding to set. Yeah, and then, I don't know, I feel like, again, I'm in that state of, I'm really, really busy, but I'm not present. So I'm thinking about, okay, I have this appointment tomorrow, and then I have this appointment next week, and then I have this meeting for this thing, and then I have this thing, and I gotta do this. And I'm not really thinking about where I am right now.
Yeah.
And that's not, again, back to, I had said this before in another episode, but it's like, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, but I am worried that, obviously, in any situation, you would hope that you can be present. And so it's kind of one of those things. And, you know, we're trying to chug along with wedding planning. I feel like this is kind of the first-ish full week back since all the family travels, all the things and plans and whatever, because I last minute had to go out of town again last weekend. And so I feel like I'm like, okay, I'm getting back into quote unquote my routine, but also I'm thinking about, oh, okay, we have, you know, this thing, and we have to be here at this time, and then we have to go do this, and then we have this appointment. And, you know, we were emailing our vendor the other day about, okay, can we go, you know, do this on this date? And I'm thinking about that, and I'm not thinking about, oh, yeah, today is day, and I need to eat food, or I need...
Right.
My coworker today was like, because normally I bring my lunch, my coworker was like, what'd you bring for lunch today? And I was like, a Baby Bell cheese. And they were like, are you gonna be okay? I was like, oh, no, I'm fine. I was like, if I'm really hungry, I'll go like swing by, I don't know, a Chick-fil-A or something. But I was not, I was so busy, and it was just like, it's fine, you know. We love a cheesy protein snack. I don't know, does Baby Bell have protein? I don't know. Cheese has protein.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. And it didn't occur to me how kawawa that sounded until my coworker was like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm fine. I was like, whoopsie. So, yeah, life has been lifing. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think my mom says this all the time. She says that I thrive in being busy.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, see, I don't agree, because I feel like I'm stressed out, and I don't want to be stressed out. But I do also feel like when I am not busy, I'm... Oh, no, this is just getting into, like, therapy. I'm like, am I useless? I don't know. Like, if I'm not busy, I'm kind of twiddling my thumbs, if that makes sense. And I'm like, okay, what do I need to do next? And I'm like, But, yeah, when I'm busy, I'm like, oh, okay, I don't have any other choice. This is what I have to do next.
Right. Type
of thing. So, maybe in that sense, I'm quote-unquote thriving. I don't know. I don't like being stressed out, but I tend to be stressed out a lot.
Yeah, you do. But
unintentionally.
I will say that when you are tested or tried under pressure, that's when your best work comes out.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like that, as silly as it sounds, that was kind of just like my school ethic, because it's particularly when I got into like late middle school, all through high school, all through college, I kept pushing the boundaries of what I could do. As in, like, oh, okay, I can pull off an 80-hour week, and that was just the regular. But in reality, that's not. I mean, some people work 80-hour weeks. I'm not going to deny that. But, you know, it's kind of like I took it upon myself to constantly be doing something, which is why I graduated early, and that's why I, you know, was able to do whatever I did, you know, working, and then I had an internship, and then I was working on my dissertation, and then I was doing all these things, and then I was still doing church stuff and teaching and all that stuff, and it's like, whoa. It's a lot. So I kind of, in a weird way, condition myself that, like you said, it's like I tried to still put my best efforts forward, and I tried to put my best forward when I'm busy. And it's not to say that I think I try to do that in majority of the aspects of my life, but I feel like when I'm under pressure, diamonds are made under pressure. I mean, genuinely. So I don't know if that's healthy or not. Therapists debate down below. I don't know. That's how the school system and just like my early work and career life molded me to be. So and like I said, my mom has said for a long time, she's like, you thrive when you're busy. I'm like, I really don't, because I feel like I'm behind and I'm stressed out. I feel that way. Although maybe in other aspects of my life, I look like I'm succeeding and doing really, really well. So it's like, well, okay, a give and a take. And I also, I don't know, maybe they just has it that, is that what ambition is? You're just striving for bigger and better. I don't know, maybe. So life has really been lifing, and so much so that I had to call out the other day because I was so tired that I could not function. I would have been a safety hazard trying to drive to work or trying to whatever. So I told my boss, I was like, hey, not today. I'm really, really sorry. It's like, we will get to it, but not today. So that's a very lame, but that's been my weekly update. And I feel like that's kind of, because and we talked about this too before. One of the nice things about this podcast is that it's snapshots of our lives in that moment.
Of course. And
this is just my snapshot right now. It's not glamorous. It's definitely not pretty, but it's happening, and this is what's happening. That being said, am I overall really, really happy and excited to be planning like the coolest day ever with you? Yeah. I was talking to my mom about it earlier, and I was like, yeah, we were talking like all the specific details or whatever, and then I brought up this idea to Chigi, and he was like, that's a cool idea. And stuff like moments like that, I was like, oh, that's what makes what's happening, albeit stressful, albeit overwhelming, albeit busy, those moments are what makes it fun, I think. So, by the way, let us know in the comments down below, do you guys want a wedding planning update video? I feel like a lot has happened and also nothing has happened. Yeah. I feel like a lot of foundational things have been set, and now it's like, I wouldn't even say that it's crunch time, because definitely not crunch time. We're still so many months out from the wedding, but crunch time as in we are at the point where we finalized the big things, and now we need to really hone in and finalize the little things. So again, let us know if that's even content that you guys are interested in. I would be happy to do a full episode on wedding, because so much of my life right now is just wedding, which is fun. So yeah, anyways, to go into our topic for this week, I know we had mentioned it in, was it the previous episode or 2 episodes ago, but Chigi and I very recently, the most recent in our area, Comic-Con.
Right.
And specifically for our area, as you guys know, we live in Hampton Roads, so the one that we attended is called Tidewater Comicon. And as Chigi said, we have new friend, new stuffy. Right. I am also wearing new, it's not merch, what is this? Supporting an artist sweater. I got this from, I just looked her up. Her name is Kathleen, Kawaii Cafe Art or something like that. I'll link her, we will link her socials down below. This is my second sweater from her. I really, really like her sweater. She does, the other sweater that I have from her is the pink gamer sweater, and I really liked this one. Chigi was like, another pink sweater, and I was like, yes, because I like the design of it.
She had 2 other colors though.
Okay, Am I a frog girly though? I'm not Delamy.
You don't need to be. You're still supporting.
No, that's very, very true. Her green one was like a little baby frog, and there was a purple one. The purple one was ghosties. Oh, and that's the thing. I'm not really like a spooky girly. No tea, no shade. I'm just not a spooky girly. So like, I don't know. It's not really my vibe. But like pink flowers, sakura, yes. Okay. Very me. Very aesthetic.
I'm pretty sure like later on you're gonna get another pink one. It's gonna be like strawberries or something.
If she did a pink strawberry one, I get a pink strawberry one. If she does like a blue cloud one, or if she did a green one that wasn't frog ghost, maybe. I have nothing against froggies. I'm not. That's kind of like me saying like, oh, I'm not a mushroom girly. I have one mushroom vase, but I'm not a mushroom girly. That's a lie. I have 2 mushroom vases. But like, you know how like there are different vibes of girls, and I'm pink and flowers and glitter. You know.
Sure.
No tea, no shade. I am a Galinda in other terms.
Anyways.
But anyways, back to con. So we went to Tidewater Comicon. Chigi, did you enjoy your time at Tidewater Comicon?
Tidewater Comicon to me this year was a little underwhelming. A lot of the vendors that we were hoping to be there weren't. And
oh yeah, that is true. Yeah.
We only went on the Sunday instead of both days, Saturday and Sunday. And on Sunday, it felt like there was just not that many people around.
It felt very like remnants of a con.
Yeah. And usually, like, when you go to Comic-Cons or any convention, like, it's always like a fight for space, trying to get from one vendor to another. And this one felt like we had the entire road to ourselves.
A lot of the times.
Yeah. And so, like, I just find myself standing like in the middle, and there would be like no one around me, but I'd still be people watching, which felt pretty cool, just because like, oh, I have my personal space, and it's not like crowded and musty and sweaty and all that. So that's maybe a pro side to it. But yeah, I just felt very underwhelmed with this one. There wasn't really things that I wanted to spend money on. Like, I had to really force myself to get something from this Comic-Con. I know that there were 2 vendors that had trading cards out. But of course, the state of TCGs at the moment, it's always overpriced. So I didn't really take a look at any of the product they had. I know they had product.
We looked with eyes. We didn't really look beyond that.
Yeah. And I was just like, these prices are ridiculous. One specific product I want to point out, one vendor had a Prismatic Evolution Pokemon Center ETB that was being sold for $340. And I'm just like, that's more than triple than what it was being sold at MSRP. So I'm just like, yeah, you're a scalper. And if you're not a scalper, you're just taking advantage of the crazy increase in prices right now.
Right. I was about to say the demand, which we've talked about in our Pokemon TCG episode. The demand is warranting prices that are just not favorable to general fans. And so I don't want to automatically assume or say that, you know, Pokemon resellers or whatever are scalpers. However, in the business now, it is not uncommon to see, which is sad, but it's not uncommon to see 300% price markups, which is sad. And it's hard because obviously that makes it less accessible to the overall general public and the overall general fan base. But yeah, I remember not even just that one. We were looking at the surprise box, which isn't that normally like 40 or less than 60?
The Prismatic Evolution surprise box is MSRP 30.
And I'm pretty sure they were selling it for over 100 or like something wild. So again, it's sad that, like you said, there was only like 2 vendors, but the vendors there that were selling Pokemon cards were definitely charging some pretty premium prices. I don't think you didn't end up buying any cards, did you?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Our friend got lucky though. Our friend who plays and collects One Piece cards, but I don't think those were, because she was saying that she was able to trade some and she didn't pay. I mean, she paid a lot because she was getting nice cards, but she didn't pay like a lot, as in like it was a massive upcharge a lot.
Yeah, she did trades for whatever she was trying to get.
She's working on building a deck specifically, so I think that's why it's not as difficult. Also, the demand for One Piece is not as intense, so to speak, as the demand for Pokemon cards. So all to say, yeah, the Pokemon vendors there was only 2, and also I do know and understand that when we go on Sundays, which more often than not we do go on Sundays because that is easier for our schedule, but we do know that technically that's day 2 or day 3 for most. It's like the last day for most cons, but we've been to many a con on the last day, and I agree with you. It wasn't dead, but it wasn't packed. It very much felt like, as we were saying earlier, the remnants of a con. Like it felt like it was a con that happened, and then like 33 to 40% of the con just kind of were like, okay, we're done, and it was just like the leftovers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very, but that just, like you said, it was a little bit nice not having to like shove my way into different aisles and stuff. So
Right.
not too bad. But what about your story about our new friend? How'd you end up getting our new friend? First of all, what is our new friend's name?
This cute thing. This is a corgi. His name is Buster. We got it from a vendor. It's actually called Robot Dragon Studios. And they had like a little merch store there. And of course, this was like the biggest thing on there. I don't know if they had a bigger one.
No. Well, at least when we went there. I don't know if they sell a bigger one, but that's...
Yeah, so when we were there were 2 of these guys, and there were 2 of the tri-colored corgis. And when we passed by, I couldn't stop staring at it.
Yeah.
Just like when you passed by the Pokemon vendor, got of course, the SD Squirtle
right here
down there. I couldn't stop staring at it, so I was like, this guy's cute.
He was very cute.
And I didn't want to ask how much it was. And
to be fair, the first time we walked by the booth, there were people at the booth. So I think there was also kind of like, because you had a reason not to go to the booth, you used that reason. So you're like, and like you said, you're like, I don't want to ask the price.
Yeah. So we didn't get it the first time around. I think we went around that vendor maybe 5 or 6 times.
Right.
Throughout the entire day. But this is one of the purchases. I didn't purchase it. You purchased it for me.
I did.
And I'm very thankful because this is a cute one. And of course, it's a corgi. I love corgis, so this had to come to the set.
Yeah, for sure. As Chigi said, I saw him like looking at, like the kind of looking at it where we're walking and Chigi's head was still doing one of these, even though we were walking past it. So I was like, oh, he really likes that thing. And then I figured, I was like, if it's not like an exorbitant price, like I'll pick it up. Because at one point towards the end of the con, we all kind of separated ways to go be like, okay, let's get like our last couple pickup things, you know, because we had been walking around, doing a lot of window shopping and just kind of like finalizing what we really wanted to get.
Yeah.
And I was kind of thinking, I was like, is Chigi gonna get it? Is Chigi gonna get it? And then after we had separated, I noticed there was only one left. And I was like, well, if I don't get this now, and worst case scenario, you had gotten the one and then I would have gotten a second one. And I was like, then we'll just give it away to one of our friends because it's so cute. But it worked out. I ended up getting the last. She even was like, thank you for buying like the last one. I was like, oh yeah, for sure. She gave me a free sticker and I was like, yay. Yeah. And I thought it was so cute. I think if I'm not mistaken, that is their mascot, and they just make a lot of related merch to Buster. So they do a lot of like art and stickers, and I don't exactly know what their company sells, but they had a lot of cute corgi stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of fun to look at. Again, what was the company's name? You said it.
Robot Dragon Studios.
Yeah, Robot Dragon Studios. So very, very talented artists, and obviously they made a very, very cute plushie. What I do like about this plushie is the textures on it. So like he has a little tongue, and then he has this little like fur, but he also has his collar. I don't know if you guys can see. Can you show off his little collar?
Where's the collar?
Like his little furry bit on the top where his neck is. ASMR him. But yeah, it's just like it's a different texture. So I thought I just feel it, and if you touch it, I feel like it's a very well made plushie. Like it has a strong, really good stitching, and it's well made. So
yeah,
we love him.
Yeah, I really like the detail on the paws. You can see it has pink paws.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So,
beans.
But yeah, I thought it was really cute, and of course the ears.
Very, very cute.
So, gotta love Buster.
Welcome to the Stuffy family, Buster.
Hey.
Welcome to the Bunso Bites family.
Not only did I get Buster, I also picked up a couple of Pokemon keychains. I got Snorlax. I got you Squirtle. And then I had to buy a third one because that's what made the deal. And so I got a random third one, which was Togepi.
We love.
And I have yet to put them on my keychain, but I know you already gave me something for my keychain.
Yeah.
So maybe later on, when I want to replace something else on there, I'll put it on the Pokemon keychain.
Or we can put it on like another key. Like we could put it on the spare key or something.
I don't have spare keys.
Okay. Sure. But yeah, so oh, what else did you buy? I know you bought something else. What else did you buy for the
I did buy one more thing, and not for me, but one of my friends wanted a toy from a vendor that is local here, from Bella Books.
Oh, I didn't realize you got it from Bella Books.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It was a pink action figure in support of breast cancer awareness. And so he said that he wanted to get the toy because one of his friends recently got diagnosed with breast cancer, and so he just wanted support. And so he told me to pick up this figure for him, which I did.
Yeah. Bella Books. Is it Bella Books and Comics or just Bella Books?
I mean, I always call it Bella Books.
Bella
but
Books.
I'm pretty sure it's Bella Books and Comics too.
Yes, they are a local, like they actually are a store. And they're a local store here in Hampton Roads. Their store is literally down the street from where we live, and whenever we get a chance, we do like to go in there. They have the best selection of what are those bags called? The lounge flies.
Yeah, the lounge flies. I'm about to say shutterfly. That's for pictures.
No, not shutterflies. Yeah, they have the best collection of lounge flies. So if you are or live in the Hampton Roads region, 100% recommend. And you're looking for lounge flies, highly recommend Bella Books. And their owners are pretty nice. Like we've had nice experiences with them. So yeah.
Other than your hoodie that you're wearing now, did you get anything else?
I got a gift for a friend. I'm trying to think if she listens, because I don't necessarily want to spoil it. Oh, I can spoil half of it. So there was a vendor who does satin bonnets, and if you don't know, satin bonnets is something that you can wear overnight to protect your hair. One of my girlfriends has particularly she has like really, really fine hair. And actually it's the girlfriend that I went on the road trip with, and one of the things that we giggled about, or like we related to, was we both brought satin bonnets with us because we stayed overnight. And so I got her a satin bonnet, and I don't want to fully spoil it, but this vendor does satin bonnets in fun patterns. And so I found a really fun pattern. I actually texted her fiance because I was like, hey, I really want to find, a pattern that she'll really, really like. And so he and I kind of were texting back and forth. he helped me pick a pattern that she'll really, really like. So the next time I see her, hopefully soon. When are you coming to visit? Hopefully soon. Because I haven't seen her in a couple months now, but I'll be able to give it to her, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Right.
And what else did I get? I got Buster. I got this sweater from Kawaii Cafe Art, Kathleen. Is that all I got? I don't remember. I think that's everything. Yeah, we didn't go too crazy. Again, I agree with Chigi. The con wasn't really popping, so to speak. Or, well, let me not say that. A lot of things were there, but it wasn't like a, oh, we're so excited and don't get me wrong, Chigi and I are always down to drop some moolah if we find some really, really cute merch or find really, really cute things. And, we bought our respective things, but I feel like this was very, very tame for us, all things considered. But I did want to shout out, there is one vendor that I do want to shout out. So, I'm working on a special project for the wedding, and I came across this vendor who does these beautiful, beautiful, like, art prints that I really wanted to incorporate in my project. So I found this vendor who does these really beautiful art prints that I wanted to incorporate in this project for our wedding. And I was kind of like, I walked by them a couple times, and actually our group of friends, I think they bought stickers or they bought like a small print because her art is so, so, so cute. She also has stuffies of bunnies. And I would have totally gotten one, but the only one left was the XXXL one, which was really, really like a lot. I don't even think it would have fit in the car a lot. She was a big one. So, but and so our friends had like picked up something from her, or like they had gotten stickers from her. And I remember like walking by and I was like, I really want to talk to this person about this project, but because it would include, kind of like marking up the project or like adding something to her art, I felt that it was necessary to actually talk to her and like ask her like, hey, this is your art, like, and obviously like if I were to buy a print of it, I understand that I own the print, but like if I were to do like this thing, would you be offended? And then she was like, oh my gosh, no, that sounds like an amazing like creative idea. And then we started crying because it was just very, very emotional. Because girls being girls, and when I explained to her kind of like what it was, she felt like, and I say this as like, I used to be more engrossed in the art world, and so I feel like artist to artist almost in a way, it felt very therapeutic to talk about art in such a collaborative way. And so, me explaining to her like, hey, I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I'm genuinely asking. I think your art is beautiful and it's wonderful. Like, it would really work well with what I'm trying to do. But I also am explaining to you, like, this could, it's a collaborative thing, so we would be, adding to it. And theoretically, if you were to take it the wrong way, some people could interpret it as, like, I'm defiling her art, which is not the intention at all. But she was so, so, so gracious. And she was even funny because I was just like, oh yeah, I was thinking I'll just like buy these prints. And she's like, no, let me like actually print you like a big one, like, and she's like, send me an email and whatever. So I've, in contact with her and talking to her and working out what would work best for that. I'm really, really excited about it because I think it's going to be a really, really cool thing. And I'm hoping to incorporate it in the wedding, hopefully. So, fingers crossed it works out. And again, I'm telling y'all, I can do a full episode on wedding. You just got to ask, and I'll for sure talk about it. And yeah, so that's it for me. Gosh, I was kind of sad because like one of the reasons why we went was because I was trying to look for a crown,
right?
And I couldn't find it because there's normally we've gone to not just at cons but even just general events with multiple vendors, and there's always this one booth that does every and all types of fantasy and beautiful and whatever type of cosplay style you could think of, and they just have a whole booth of crowns. And then they weren't there, and I was like, I need a crown for the wedding though. And I was like, what am I gonna do? So another thing on the to-do list to figure out, because it wasn't at the con, because for whatever reason this con just felt very remnant. I will say though, as much as I say that, the cosplays pretty good. There was a group of Star Wars cosplayers that were like, I felt I was at like Disney. I was like, wow, that's really good. Like there was a group of like 5 older dudes, like one of our uncles type of thing. You know what I'm talking about? But like they were so into it, and they just had they were taking a bunch of pictures, and like kids were like coming up to them and they were explaining their cosplays and stuff. Again, I was people watching just like you. And I mean, like their cosplays were so good. Like from a construction standpoint, I'm just like, you either have a lot of time on your hands or a lot of money, or probably both. But they killed it. And yes, there was a couple good ones. Did you notice any cosplays that you liked?
I mean, when we were just sitting down and just resting,
people watching,
I did see that group that you're talking about. I believe it was 4 of them.
Was it 4? Okay.
Yeah, there were 3 guys and 1 girl.
Oh, I didn't see the girl. I only saw the guys.
And then they were taking a bunch of pictures with everyone in the front. But other than that, like I did see a bunch of people wearing Naruto stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I ran into a couple of guys that were there that they weren't wearing anything, like any cosplay related stuff. And then I saw them going in, and then a couple of minutes later I saw them again, and then they were all wearing Naruto stuff. And I was just like, oh wow, you literally just bought that and put it on.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, can you do us a favor and take a picture of us? And I was like, sure, no problem.
Oh, I didn't know you this. Okay.
And they're just like making jokes with one another and whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right, just let me know when you guys are ready. And like it took them a while for them to like finally get settled in and like stop joking around and like finally take the picture.
Yeah.
But there was like 3 of them in the group, and then they paired up with another person that was doing Naruto cosplay.
Ooh,
and
okay.
so the 4 of them took a picture together. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was like a bunch of different things. I couldn't put my like mind on what the character was for their cosplays, but there was a bunch of different ones. I just probably need to brush it up on my skills and trying to pinpoint what these actual cosplayers are.
Right.
But other than that, I did have a story that I wanted to talk about during the con, and it was in regards to food. Because the convention probably makes most of their money from food sales, like their cafe or whatever restaurant they have there is like three times as much as what you'd pay for like a regular item. Right. And so
they can charge exorbitant prices.
Yes. And so we were trying to get a drink, and I wasn't going to trust the water fountains there.
Okay.
And so I was looking at the prices of water bottles, and they were like $3 or $4, and I was just like, I can probably spend $1.50 and get the same thing. Yeah. Which is why I wanted to look for a vending machine. And so when we finally sat down to rest and just people watch, you were like, oh, I'm getting thirsty. Can we get a drink? And so I did my little adventure and went to go find a vending machine. I did find some behind like the sign-in desk. And I went there and I was looking at it. It said something weird on it. And so I tried to put in like cash, and it wasn't accepting anything. And at that time, I didn't notice it, but the entire thing was full, which meant either it was just offline or just not in service. But it had the lights up and everything. Oh, okay. So both the vending machine with like food in it and the vending machine with drinks in it, both were unserviced. Oh. And so
like they turned it off?
No, it was on. It was just you couldn't purchase anything from it, which was really weird. Because all the lights were on and everything. It's just it wouldn't accept any type of payment. And so I spent like 5 minutes trying to get something from there, noticed that you couldn't get anything, and then asked somebody. I was like, hey, is there any other vending machines? They're like, yeah, just keep walking down the other end of the convention and you'll find the other one.
Oh, okay.
So I walk all the way down to the other side of the convention, found the other set of vending machines. The drink vending machine was all out except for energy drinks. And I was like, energy drinks? How much is it? Five something. I was like,
$5?
yeah, and I was like, this is something I wouldn't drink regularly anyways.
Right.
So I was like, I'll pass. But then the vending machine for the food and snacks, it was full. And actually, the top right selection had a bag of like pretzels dangling for its life.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, if I buy something, I can get the one behind it plus the one that's dangling.
Yeah.
And so it was $2.
Okay.
But there was a 25% or 25-cent discount if you use cash.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, let me see if I have cash. So I found $2 bills in my wallet, inserted that, and I picked that upper right selection. It dispensed the bag, and the bag behind it also got caught up.
Stop. No, it didn't.
And I'm just like looking at it. I'm just like, are you serious? Like, I want to shake this, but I know if I do, some alarm will go off.
Right.
And like there are actual police
and there
in
are
the
children
convention
around. Like, we don't want to promote bad behavior. Yeah.
Right. And so I was like, man,
don't shake vending machines. That is very unsafe.
I'm just like pointing at it and like knocking on the glass.
Yeah.
Like, come on, come down. But it didn't. And so I was like, okay, well, looks like I just lost $1.75. And so I waited for my change to dispense because I had 25 cents change. And it took a long time for it to dispense for whatever reason.
Okay.
And so when it finally dropped down to the coin return, I went to go grab it and noticed there was a lot more change in there than what I had.
People were just leaving their change.
Yeah, because it took so long. Right. And so when I pulled out all the change that was sitting in that return, I think there was like exactly $2. So I was like, okay, cool.
Another chance.
I got back whatever I just put into this machine.
Right.
And so instead of getting that bag of pretzels, I ended up getting something else because I couldn't get drinks. So I bought a thing of Pop-Tart. And so again, that was also $2. So 25-cent discount is $1.75. So I actually had two 25 cents in my pocket. And I was like, I wonder if this is true for the other vending machines. So I checked the vending machine, the drink machine next to me. There was actually nothing in that one.
Okay.
And so I went back to the first vending machines that I had initially tried to make a purchase at that weren't taking any payments, and checked those too. There wasn't one in the drink machine, but the food machine
was there change?
Also had change in it. And so I took all the change from that one, and I was like, okay, how much coins do I have now?
Yeah.
And I actually had 7 quarters. So I
That's
originally
a
had
lot.
the $1.75 I had to purchase the Pop-Tart, but I was still a quarter shy.
Yeah.
But anyways, all that to say, I thought it was dumb that I couldn't purchase anything from the first set, but still made my money back almost from everything. And then in the end, I tried not to buy anything from the little
food stand
or whatever, but because we didn't get any drinks, I had to buy something.
Yeah.
And so I had to buy a large diet from there. And then I was like, well, since I'm already spending money and, it costs to actually charge on your credit card.
I was going to say plus the credit card charge, yeah.
I had to make it like above a certain amount so I wouldn't get charged.
Oh, my goodness.
So then...
That's why you bought food.
I bought a side of fries and a large drink, and that came out to $10. And I was like, whoa, this is a lot. $10, which is why I didn't want to buy any food or drink in the first place, but since we didn't bring anything with us, I had to make the purchase.
Yeah. Honestly, well, I wasn't looking for food. I genuinely just needed a drink because at that point I was so out of breath. And it was just not necessarily inside the con, but like the day overall was really, really hot.
Yeah.
And so it was just kind of like, this is a lot. Wow, I did not realize how big of an adventure you went on
Mm-hmm.
to get that Pop-Tart and large drink.
Yeah. But either way, overall, I think the con was still not that great. If I had to
I
rate
feel like
it,
it was better previous years.
yeah, definitely. If I had to rate it out of 10 this year, I'd give it like a 3.5. It's
that's
it was pretty low. But it's just because the overall experience to the ones that we went to before, they're so much better. We got so much better merchandise.
And there were events, right?
Yeah, there were events. I mean, there were at this con too. We just didn't go upstairs.
But I didn't even, like, they didn't give us a schedule or anything. On the last one, they gave us a schedule because, yeah, at the last one, we attended, like, a random play.
Mm-hmm.
And another one. Like, I think we attended cons have, like, panels and stuff. And
Yeah.
I was like, didn't get a schedule, didn't get a map, didn't get anything.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to take into account that we went on a Sunday instead of Saturday.
No, and 100%. But they even just like general activities. When we went to GalaxyCon last time, we didn't even like know necessarily the full on schedule, but we like went to the kids stuff because it was just set up there.
Mm-hmm.
We took pictures there, and then we ended up going to like a D&D panel because it's like there was stuff happening. So
Yeah.
you would follow the crowd, you'd ask questions and be like, "Oh yeah, let's go there. Or, oh, let's go over here." This one was not. It just literally was the convention space with all the vendors,
Mm-hmm.
and then a bunch of people sitting outside eating overpriced French fries.
Mm-hmm.
In really good cosplay, I will say. I saw some really good ones, but yeah, I feel, yeah, I don't know if 3 sounds very harsh, but it definitely wasn't my favorite con experience.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we have, in my experience, we have attended cons that are way smaller, a lot less things to do there.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever cosplay con we went to in Richmond, I think that was probably the worst one that we went to, because there just really wasn't too much to do there. There wasn't that many vendors either.
Oh, yes. That wasn't Galaxy. That was another one. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That was kind of like it was supposed to be like a regional one, and I think they just didn't get.
Yeah, it flopped.
Yeah, that's the word. It flopped. That being said, I mean, as someone who coordinates large activities and things like that, it's not easy to do.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
I will say one of the things that I like about Tidewater Con, which has been consistent despite this con not necessarily being our favorite, because we've attended Tidewater Con 3 times now.
I guess, yeah.
3 times. First time we attended for funsies. Second time I did a project, and then this is our 3rd time.
Yes.
So, for this one, I feel one of the things that I do or did notice is that staff at Tidewater Con always very, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've had any like sign up area, and they're as efficient as they can be. They're all very kind and welcoming. Old, young, all in between. All the staff at Tidewater Con have been really, really great. Because we have been to cons where I wouldn't necessarily say we've been to cons where there's bad staff, but we've definitely been to cons where there's inattentive staff or staff that's just like maybe not cognizant of the guests. But every time we go to Tidewater, I feel like we're always kind of ushered to go into the right area, and then they all work to be as efficient as possible, and sign up and stuff. And then even going inside the con area, they like separate you, like, okay, if you need to get your bag checked or whatever, or you need to get your cosplay prop checked, it's all very clean and organized, and it doesn't feel hectic in any way.
Right.
So, yeah, I will give the staff. I'll give the staff at Tidewater Con 4 Pikachus out of 5 Pikachus.
Mm-hmm.
I would give this con, the overall con experience, maybe 3 Charmanders out of 5 Charmanders. I will say the artists that showed up though, it feels like the quality went up. And by that I mean not that artists before were poor quality. I want to make that very clear. But I feel like the range of products was much more diverse when it came to artists. It wasn't just stickers and prints. Like, there was stickers and prints and notebooks and post-it notes and vinyl, like, car stickers. Like, they had such a wider variety of creative product, and it wasn't just stickers that you put in your notebook. And, you know, like, it felt much more encompassing in a way. Like, and I mean, I saw, like, there was like a wood burning guy, and there was a girl who made like, she like hand painted hair accessories or something. Funny story about the hair accessory lady. So we went with our friends who are younger than us, obviously, because we're old. And they are 3 girls that are younger than us. And we're friends with them, and, you know, they're card collectors and players of One Piece. And they actually dressed up, which was really funny. One of the girls dressed up as a strawberry. The other girl dressed up in the Totoro sweater that I gave her for her birthday. And I forgot what the other one cosplayed, but I don't remember what her character was. So we were just our own little ragtag group. And I remember we went to the hair accessory vendor that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it was me, our 2 of the girls, and then Chigi. One of the girls had, like, gone to another booth. And we were all kind of, like, looking because our friend was like, oh, I'm thinking about buying one because my friend really likes, you know, hair combs and little accessories and stuff. And so she and I were, like, looking and trying to whatever. And the vendor was, like, talking to our friends, because obviously our friends were interested in, like, buying it. They were just trying to pick out whichever. And then something. I don't know if our friend said it or if the vendor said it. Something along the lines of, like, oh, okay, like, we're still trying to figure out, like, what we're going to buy. And the vendor in response said, oh, don't worry about what you're going to buy. Mom and Dad will just cover it for you, referencing Chigi and I to our friends. And I kind of, like, looked at Chigi and I was like, this is funny, but this is also really, really weird. Because, yes, are we older than our friends? Yes. But we're not, like, that much older. Like, they are in their 20s. And it's like, and I'm in my 30s. But, like, I was just like, I'm not her mom. Nor do I think that I look that old to be her mom. And we were talking about it later, and our friend was like, maybe I just look really, really young. Which, to be fair, our friends do look a little bit young because they're on the petite side, and, like, they have just younger Asian features. But I was also just like, but that doesn't change the fact that I don't look like your mom, and I don't think Chigi looks like your dad either.
True.
It was just very weird for this vendor to be like, don't worry, your mom and dad will just cover it. And I'm just like, I'm going now. I just turned away. I was like, this got weird.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I want to add to that is that us 2, in comparison to the other 3, we're at least half a foot taller than them.
Yeah.
So that does make a big difference too.
Yeah. For context, I am 5'6"-ish. Chigi is 5'8"-ish. And our friends are 5 foot-ish. So the picture is myself, our 2 friends, and then Chigi. Just, it was the most, like, I didn't know whether to cry or to laugh at that situation. I just felt very weird. I was like, I'm not her mom. Goodbye. I need to get away from this situation right now. Is all I felt. So that was an experience to be with your friend and to be called your mom and dad. And I'm like, that's my friend. But yeah, so I would say the vendor, specifically like artist vendor offerings, I would give that 4 Squirtles out of 5 Squirtles. So I think the overall con, maybe not the best, but there were little aspects about it that I did enjoy. You know, I wish there was more vendors, and it's like I was looking for a specific vendor and they were not there. I mean, I guess it's technically my fault. I could probably look up look them up online or something. But needs must. And they always show up at cons, so then we were all just like, yeah, they'll totally be there. The one time they were not. I'm like, the one time I'm trying to buy something from you, thank you so much. So yeah, any final thoughts, Chigi?
The only thing that I could think of is we will continue to bring you more episodes, more content. If and ever we do go to any future conventions, I do have in mind thinking about going to Collecticon in Richmond, which is a strictly trading card convention.
Trading card specific, yeah.
So sports, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Lorcana, etc.
We do like going to cons in Richmond because their venue is on the bigger side, and well, not even on the bigger side. It's more elaborate, so to speak. There's a lot more extra rooms, which means that generally they plan for additional panels or additional activities in addition to like the actual big room, or even like they have stages because they do cosplay, which that was another thing I noticed. There were, as much as we saw cosplay, I didn't hear anything about cosplay competitions at this.
Right.
I mean, again, we're day 2, so I don't know.
Yeah, it may have happened on the first day.
Yeah. But normally you kind of like will like hear or listen out, or and I like watching that stuff because I like people flexing their creativity. So, hopefully we hope that next year, if we go to Tidewater Con, it will be, we have fond memories of Tidewater Con. This particular time wasn't the greatest. So we're hoping that, maybe it's just a timing thing or a vendor thing, and hopefully they can get more vendors for their next one.
Right.
And yeah, looking forward to some possibly future cons. If you know of any conventions that are happening within 2 to 4 hours of the Hampton Roads region, let us know in the comments down below. We'd be happy to look into it and maybe possibly go ourselves. We love a good con. We love going. It's normally just a lot of fun, and get to hang out with a lot of fellow nerds, and you have a lot of fun that way. But yeah, I think that about wraps up this episode, Chigi. So with that being said, thank you so much for listening to our episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Please comment, like, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.